How we doing, everybody, and welcome back to the Catalyst, where we break down all things bullish in the crypto markets. Yesterday we had a pretty solid day across the board. We're taking a look at Matic today, though. We had previously put some attention here. I think it was right as we started to break into this zone, and this was somewhat of a critical zone because you see here we actually closed above our previous all-time high. So our previous all-time high was here at 244, at least at the closing price. The max price went up to 280, but the closing price was 244, and you see that we've actually closed above it twice now, and that's really good for us in terms of where we can go next. We've seen what happens when other cryptos break that threshold of the previous all-time high, and they just go nuclear a little bit after that. I do notice, though, our RSI is a little high, so we could see something like this, right, where we kind of bounce back and forth in the top, slowly chipping away, getting a little bit higher before we have a bigger pullback. With that being said, though, I still think this 280 zone that we're kind of in now is potential resistance for us. So I think what's going to happen is we're going to come up, hit our heads here, potentially come back down and test support at the 240, and then from there, we could potentially take off. So something like this, where we come up here, come back down, and we could bounce back and forth in between here for a few days, or that could be enough for us, depending on the rest of the market. But it could be as simple as this and something like that. But ultimately, I think this line here is my immediate short-term price at about 340. So another dollar gain, which would be pretty strong for us. From the price we're at now, that would still be another 30%. So you cannot beat that. That's pretty damn good. And again, if something like that were to occur, we still would probably come back down to test support either here or here, even if we do hit the 340 mark. I mean, you've seen what happened with ADA, right? ADA hit 3 something and now it came crashing down. So what we want is actually to have some consolidation, probably first, get the RSI to start to come lower as we consolidate in and out of here for, like, let's say a couple weeks or a month or something like that. And then we can have some more healthy growth going forward. And that's exactly what you saw kind of previously here, right? We consolidated. We've been kind of in and out, up a little bit, down a lot, up, down, up. And this right here is all that consolidation. Plenty of buying opportunities, obviously here, here, and here. Some decent opportunities to just trim off the top from your sales. And now we are finally starting to break out of that. Yeah, let's get a little clouded here with the drawings. But I think, that's a pretty decent strategy going forward, right? If we expect some more consolidation, it's okay to start trimming some fat. I'm not saying sell your shares here or your entire position, but I'm saying, take a 5% cut. Just trim the fat a little bit, take those gains, and then when we hit lower on the RSI, you take those gains that you previously had and you buy in, and you're able to accumulate more. That's how we're going to accumulate here, just in general. While also preserving, greater, risk aversion, right? Because we're going to, let's say we had a candle that just ripped us down back to the 50 or 100-day moving average, right? We had like a huge candle, like one of these guys, right? Or a big moment like this where we're red for 2 weeks. Now your risk aversion is lower. You're able to sell up here. Because it's somewhat cyclical, right? Like everything, as it goes up, it can only stay up for so long, and then it comes down, and then it can only stay down for so long, and it goes up. So if you could sell here and buy here and sell here and buy here, obviously that's what you want to be doing. The easiest way to do that is to measure off the RSI, because it's pretty predictive in terms of price action. So as the RSI is getting to its peak, it gets kind of it gets weaker, so it has to come down and settle down for a bit. And then once you see some dips, you can buy those dips, and then it's sell the the tops of those. So we're almost at a point where I would suggest starting to take some sales. Obviously, in a strategy like that, you have to be pretty vigilant and aware and on top of it all the time. But yeah, I think, you know, that's a great time to accumulate. So dollar cost average in as we're going down in moments like this, right? So you could buy all these lows here, and then you can do the same thing, sell all these highs as you're going up, whether it's here or here or whatever. So that's kind of where I see Matic going. Like I said, ideally we're going to, you know, potentially break this 280 mark, and we can accumulate above that. That would be ideal. If we could really send it to 350 and then come back down and sit at 280 for some time, that would be awesome. Will that happen? I'm not sure, but I think, you know, we have a accumulation occurring, whether it is going to be in here or going to be in here. I think that's the next phase for Matic. So we're going to either accumulate like this before we break up into here, or we're going to rip up and then have a little more volatility up in this higher zone, because we have just a higher frequency, right? So we can accumulate something like that. So a bigger range for us to kind of accumulate in. You would see something like this, how we had it there. So all of that's very possible. And, you know, I mean, the alternative is we could just go completely nuclear. We could rip right up to $7. Who knows? We saw what Solana did in a very short period of time, right? Solana went, you know, from August from $40, and then in September it was 200. So, you know, that is a 5x from there. So Matic, if we were to 5x from here, you know, obviously we would be at $10. So who knows? It's crypto. Anything could happen. But we will just, I guess we will see where this takes us. And like I said, ultimately we are looking at accumulation in these two zones here, between either these two greens or between this green and the top of the next RSI, so the 1618. I think this is where we'll be living, assuming the market maintains its relative resurgence that it's doing right now. Bitcoin is up at the moment about 0.5%, so we're going on a couple solid green days here. 1, 2, 3, 4 out of the last 5 days have been green. And Matic, same thing, or sorry, ETH, actually same thing. We are actually approaching, if we have another solid green day, we will actually have a nice cross here of the 20 going over the 50 and getting us back in this channel here to continue on our little push. So that would be really nice. So similar to how we got faked out here, we thought we were going to break it and potentially go completely parabolic, or, you know, we came back down, back into it, continued to rise along with it. Now, hopefully this is a fake out, right? We're not going to roll over, and we're going to bounce out of that. So that is all I got for Matic and just the market in general today. Otherwise, we will catch you guys on the next one. Thanks for watching. Peace.